What is going on, everybody, and welcome into another Mock Draft Monday here on the Warzone Sports Network. I'm your host, Tony Tucker, joined by Mike on the mic. Mike, what's going on, brother?
Nothing much, man. Just ready to get this mock draft going. Been sitting here all day studying my picks. I'm drafting every Titans player I can get my hands on.
I love it. I love the hype that goes on with one move of a guy at 32 coming off of a bunch of soft tissue. But we're going to get to that because I am very interested to see sort of what this does to people. AJ Brown, Ryan, does Ryan Tannehill draftable now? Like, are people targeting him? We're going to get into the fluctuation of where everybody else is at. Should we get this draft started?
Let's get it rolling. Let's
bring this on the screen here. All right. Who do we got on the clock at number 1? We got Joe Morley on the clock at number 1.
Oh, fun. My favorite.
Joe, don't mess this up for me, brother. Don't get in here and then I knew it. I knew something like that was going to happen. I was like, he's going to do something totally off. And of course, here it is. Derrick Henry at 1. I really do believe his value goes up, but number 1 with no passing game, work really, like CMC still got to be number 1 or Dalvin Cook.
I like it a little bit, Tony. I don't know if Julio helps or hurts Derrick Henry. I guess we'll see if some scheme things come out throughout the offseason. But I like Derrick Henry because there's questions about Christian McCaffrey's health. There's questions about Dalvin Cook's health, questions about Saquon Barkley's health, or if he's going to come back to be what he is. Questions about all these guys that are in this top 5 to top 7 range, except for one. That's Derrick Henry. I feel like he's the safest bet to put up what he's been putting up the last couple of years.
So there's definitely a safety level that I feel drafting Derrick Henry, right? He seems pretty durable, and now he's in a great offense. Like if Julio's on the field and AJ's on the field, you're not going to be able to stuff guys down in the box. Like Corey Davis could never dream of commanding the respect that you get from having Julio Jones opposite of AJ Brown. But to go first, I mean, ADP skyrocketing by Joe Morley here. Like this would be enough. Joe Morley could have his ADP rising to like 2.3 going out there. But Kamara goes to clock management. You make the nice selection of Saquon Barkley. You feel good?
Yeah, I like getting him at 5. I'm not his biggest fan in the world coming into this season, but I'm not also like just ignoring him. If I can get him in between 5 and 8, I'm definitely down to do it. I know that he's probably like that stepping stone from him. Nick Chubb probably is in this little elite category, and then we go to the Jonathan Taylors and the Ezekiel Elliott's and the Aaron Jones. And that's where I have to really think hard towards the end of this first round on running backs.
Yes, sir. On the clock, we got the Matty Daddy in here.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Matty. I tried to do some Macho Man justice there. You can grade me later. Let me know if that one worked out. But I like the pick of Saquon at 5. I mean, if he can be even close, right? Like to what he was rookie year before the injuries. Jay, always grinding. Always grinding. Matty Daddy taking Jonathan Taylor Thomas from the home improvement days at number 2. I haven't been drafting him, but I will. Like if I'm in this range 4, 5, 6, because I really think that the Colts have a great offense, and I think that having Carson Wentz who can stretch the field a little bit more is going to open things up for him. So we got, who's this on the clock? Is this Robson?
Yep, Robson. He's actually in the waiting room. You want to bring him on?
Robson, if you draft Tevin Coleman right here, I will ban you from ever showing your face on Warzone Sports Network. Let's see who he takes before I bring him. I don't want to put any pressure on him. But if
let's let him think about it, breathe, have his time.
And if you go to auto... Okay, bring him in. Excellent pick. Excellent pick.
Gentlemen, how's it hanging?
Way better after you made the smart choice of taking Nick Chubb right there. How you feel?
Yeah, I like Nick Chubb, man. I mean, he's an absolute monster. In my opinion, he is the engine that makes the Cleveland Brown offense go. If he has a good day, the Browns usually do as well. So I really, really, really dig Nick Chubb. I know he's splits carries with Kareem Hunt, but don't get it mistaken. Nick Chubb is an elite running back, top 5 in my opinion, borderline top 3. I may put him in my top 3. I don't know, but I like my pick, Nick Chubb. It's not Tevin Coleman, Tony. I know that's who you wanted me to pick, but
no, that's who I wanted you not to pick, and I would have banned you. I would have banned you from the show if you would have come out here and taken Michael P. Ryan in the first round.
Yeah, I'm rocking my Gators shirt. I thought about it for a second.
So we got, after you, Ezekiel Elliott goes, what is that, number 8 there?
Yeah.
Sorry, I can't really count. So he goes 8, and then Aaron Jones at 9, which I can't believe both of those guys are going 8 and 9. It feels great there. And then the first receiver off the board is 7 o'clock with Devontae Adams, abandoning his RB heavy strategy. I definitely am going to want to ask him about that. And if he's watching live, please chime in as to why you didn't take Austin Eckler.
Because of my advice I gave him in our group chat. But no, it is kind of interesting to see. Right now we have 10 of the first 11 picks running backs. That's something to keep track of. There's a lot of guys, especially in this half PPR format, that are going to go in this first round.
Yeah, I don't know who this is either. FSC host.
Those are the Fantasy Shot Callers podcast. They're
love it.
Joining up with us for this.
Love it. Taking and we got Bolster taking Eckler, which I really like. If I were 7, I would have taken him. But 7 did just put up an article recently saying he trusted Eckler a year too early and then got him in the injury plague season, and he feels a little burned. Does anybody else out there ever have that prop? Robson, you're on camera. Have you ever drafted a guy a year early and then been like, no, I'm staying away from this guy? Or you get him and he gets injured and you feel burned and you stay away?
I do multiple leagues, and I have my high school did an alumni draft, and I drafted, oh God, who was it? I can't remember who it was. Name slipped my mind. His name's slipping my mind, man. I can't help it. I'm
Curtis Martin. There you go. So Curtis Martin, when you were 4 years old, let me take you back. Yeah,
I don't even freaking remember football.
When you drafted Marcus Allen with your first pick in 1978.
Born in 2001, drafting from the womb.
Exactly. So we hit the turn with the fantasy.
Whoa. Okay. Who the heck?
With host
Najee
Ben.
in the second.
Wow. We got host Ben not getting a running back at the turn right here. We got Tyreek Hill and Stephon loading up on receivers at 12.
That's a development.
It is. Kelsey going off the board to Bolster. He seems to always get tight end right there. Bolster. What do you?
I like those 2 picks, man. I've got my doubts about Eckler being in that top 5 range, but if you can get him at 11 and then turn around and get Kelsey in round 2, that's kind of my dream scenario if I end up later in my drafts.
And then 7 got Cam Akers, so he did get a running back with Devontae Adams. And as long as Mr. Rodgers' neighborhood is still in the greater Green Bay area, that's going to be a real top 2 picks right there. Piggy going Najee Harris, putting his money where his mouth is. I've seen him hype him up in a lot of his pre-draft analysts. And then Fantasy Alert with Zeke and Joe Mixon. And then Robson, we're back to you. J.K. Dobbins and Nick Chubb. I love that you've taken 2 running backs from 2 teams that feature the run. How are you feeling about your draft so far?
Loving it so far. I am always running back heavy when it comes to early in the draft because those are the guys in PPR types if they're going to get you the majority of the points, in my opinion, from my previous experiences, although it is slim playing fantasy football. But yeah, I love the duo, J.K. Dobbins, Nick Chubb. That is a winning combo if I've ever seen one. And all we know, the Robson Sportscast, all he knows is winning, being the Jets fan.
I was just going to say, all he knows is winning. Wait till he's a fan of the first team to go 0-17. Moving on here. We got the Maddie Daddy coming in and saying, Julio, you're gone. Where are a bunch of those targets going to? Calvin Ridley. So I think that he's got a real opportunity to have a top 5 fantasy season if the defense is bad and there's a lot of garbage time and Ridley can stay healthy. So I like that pick. Mike, you pair Barkley with A.J. Brown. The
Julio ripple effect is in town. Calvin Ridley goes. A.J. Brown next pick. Both before DeAndre Hopkins. Just want to point that out.
I'm just rehashing the board here. We have not seen Julio go yet. So A.J. Brown in this draft goes ahead of him. And I actually kind of like that. He's the younger, more explosive player. I think a better chance to stay healthy. He did have some ankle injuries, but he gutted through them last year. So I'm taking as much A.J. Brown as I can get on all my fantasy teams.
I'm also
I just now realized
I'm expecting there might be a small curve with Julio coming in the beginning of the season, getting some chemistry with Ryan Tannehill. Some A.J. Brown already has established. But it's going to be interesting to see who defenses try to cover. Are they going to try to cover Julio and then go after A.J. Brown one-on-one? Or are they going to put their double coverage on A.J. and go after Julio one-on-one? I want whichever one's going to be one-on-one.
Well, I think that you may see a lot more one-on-one because you can't be doubling too much and still have Derrick Henry in the backfield. Like, that's a problem. And you also have a very mobile Ryan Tannehill. Now, he's not Lamar Jackson, but, I mean, he can scoot when necessary. You jinxed yourself, Robson. I can see you letting your emotions, I love it, shine through here on camera. What are you upset about? What just happened?
I was debating with the J.K. Dobbins pick. I never do this. I hate doing it. I do not like taking quarterback early. Yeah. But damn it, I was so close to picking Patrick Mahomes right there because it's Patrick Mahomes. Like, there's no way too early with Patrick Mahomes and Joe Morley breaking code, his Raider fan picking Patrick Mahomes. By the way, Joe Morley, what the hell are you doing pulling an Oakland Raiders, taking Derrick Henry first over Christian McCaffrey? Stay off the weed, homie. Good Lord.
I love this draft that Joe is setting up here. And Joe he's very tired today. That's why he's not joining us on screen right now. And Joe, I just want to say your new draft strategy might be sleep deprivation, buddy, because Derrick Henry, and then you get, in my opinion, the best tight end and the best quarterback. So he could have like a 1, 2, 3 combo of guys that all finish number 1 to start there. The fantasy football therapist always bringing it, gets CEH in the towards the end of the second, then comes back around and gets Justin Jefferson, who I think, really, like, after that rookie season,
don't take my guy, Matty.
Could just be
don't take my guy.
More elevation. And let's check in here with Jay the Plug's draft. Delvin Cook, Gibson, even after the toe stuff, I would be interested to hear if Jay is worried about that at all, and if he, just needs more information as we get closer to the season. And Jay also gets his wide receiver in DK Metcalf.
Shots fired. Shots fired at you, Tony.
No, you are, Joe. You're doing a great job. Is this PPR?
Yeah, we should have established half-point PPR, Jay.
All right.
Now.
My pick is up, and I'm going to go a little bold here, but I like him. I'm going with my boy. Got the helmet right here. I'm taking my boy. I'm taking the beast. I'm taking Kyle freaking Pitts, man. The superstar in the making, and my pick to win Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Trask on the turnaround, right?
Man, he's going to be unbelievable, man. He's going to be unbelievable.
Oh, Robson, I love this enthusiasm and energy, and I will get back to bagging on why that's a terrible decision later. Because I want to go back to a sensible tight end selection, and Mike, who took George Kittle right here. Did you feel like it was an opportunity to kind of like level off that elite 3, like still be on that same playing field with the other people who took tight ends in the first 3 rounds?
Yeah, I'm completely fine with waiting a couple rounds to get tight end. I figure I've got Kittle at 3.5. I got to pull the trigger, even though I'm not Kittle's biggest fan fantasy-wise, because I am scared of the injuries with him, just because of his play style. Seeing Kyle Pitts go 2 picks after George Kittle makes me feel real good, though.
Robson, this is a fan pick, right? You don't think that he's going – do you think he's going to put up better numbers than like some of the next few tight ends that are going to be drafted in, let's say, now and round 6 or 5 if you waited a couple rounds.
Fancy alert. Cool.
I really do. Kyle Pitts is a freak of nature. We have never seen a guy like Kyle Pitts before. I mean, this dude is 6'6", runs like a wide receiver, can bully anybody, and you damn right I got that secondhand weed. If that means I am picking the next great tight end in the NFL and Kyle Pitts. This dude is literally a monstrous human being. I'm thinking he's going to explode, especially now that Julio Jones is out of the picture. I'm thinking Kyle Pitts is going to dominate.
Speaking of Julio.
That is an excellent defense, Robson. And therapist, that's a funny joke that he's getting hand-me-down herb over here. Let's get back to the board and keep it moving because DeAndre Swift goes to Fantasy Alert. Chris Carson to Piggy Bank Picks, who I actually really like Chris Carson. Miles Sanders to 7 o'clock here. Maybe 7's just like I need to make up for calling him Michael and draft. Who knows? We'll find out. And then Julio goes to Bolster. This to me is like Bolster. If we could see him on camera right now, he's probably like, "What?"
Yeah, he has this dream team put together right now.
Well, hang on. Wait until he drafts Sam Darnold. He's just going to go nuts.
Oh,
I guarantee he will.
He's going to draft Brady and Darnold will be his backup. And then he'll just come on here and he'll be tap dancing. And he's taking Jacobs. I actually really do like that pick. If you're getting Josh Jacobs in the 4th round, if he can stay healthy and not, banged up and on the field.
Yeah, I think I went Jacobs at the end of 3 last draft.
Yeah.
So that's a steal. 4th round.
Slipping a little bit. I'm very intrigued as to how this draft is shaping up for the fantasy for host Ben at the end. I forgot the acronym already. If we could put that on the screen.
He went Josh Allen. You see the 2 receivers. Yeah, it looks like he's going ahead and going with like those middle tier RB2s as his RB1 and RB2. That's what it looked like his strategy is, and get the elite receivers and the elite quarterback. Interesting.
Yeah, taking Josh ahead of Lamar Jackson was interesting to me. I do think, with Josh, you have the potential for an MVP next year. Kind of what Lamar did. So if you pick a quarterback, excuse me, in the first 5 rounds, he better have the MVP potential.
Randy Pepperton wants in on our league.
Oh, sorry, Pepperton. If you owe child support in multiple states, you cannot play in any of our fantasy leagues. So once you clear that up, you will be allowed back into the league. One of our favorite trolls here on our live shows. If you are new to the Warzone Sports Network,
Tony, quick question.
Yes.
Scale of 1 to 10. How bad do you want me to piss off Mike right now?
Like an 11.
You take Herbie?
Yeah, picking Herbie. I'll take Herbie.
We brought a troll in here. This is early. So
Kyle Pitts and Herbert. That's his last 2 picks.
Robson,
dominant duo.
Are you drafting for 2025? Like, what is going on? You got a rookie tight end.
He's playing dynasty mode.
What? This isn't a keeper league?
This would be a strong keeper team for sure.
Oh, hell yeah, it would be.
Let's see. I missed. Where am I at here? 7 o'clock goes receiver again with Mike Evans. I love this. Mike in the 4th round. Like, if he wins the war of attrition in Tampa, he could be eating a lot down there. Piggy with Kareem Hunt. There's a lot of good value there, especially now you're RB4. Like, Piggy might be looking to make some trades in this draft. He's drafted 4 like you said, go running back heavy. This is like Fat Albert heavy. Like, this is like serious past Weight Watchers running back heavy that he's drafting here. 4 in a row. That is impressive.
Eddie Lacy type heavy.
Exactly. I like this pick right here by Fantasy Alert with getting Terry McLaurin, because I think that there's more options and he's got a more reliable quarterback. And maybe not reliable, but a guy who's definitely going to wing it in Fitzpatrick. We've already discussed Robson. Matty Daddy taking Hawkinson. I think there's been so many targets evacuated there. He's got to eat. And then we get Allen Robinson to Mike right here which I think is a great pick because Andy Dalton really is a serviceable quarterback.
Yeah, I'm really banking on Kittle and Saquon to be elite. I like A.J. Brown's chances, but it's a little bit of a risk there in round 2. And Allen Robinson, again, it's going to be hit or miss whether Andy Dalton can get the ball to him in Chicago. So I'm a little worried about those 2 picks. But I kind of just took who I had to take. I was not going to take Melvin Gordon with that pick. There's no way.
Yeah, no, I think you did the right thing. But I like Allen Robinson to be a number 1. Like, and they're paying him all that money. They're going to get him the football. They want him to be happy. They want him to re-sign for Justin Fields. So I think they're going to find a way to get him the football, and you get your playmakers the ball. Travis Etienne going to clock management in an auto situation.
I was hoping that was auto. God help your soul if it's not.
The guy who drafted Kyle Pitts 3 rounds ahead of his ADP is knocking Travis Etienne.
Hold up now. There is a significant difference here. Kyle Pitts is actually going to be a starter, not a backup.
No, and I agree with you, but I'm saying in a non-real world approach to fantasy football, the running back has more value than the tight end. But I don't want to seem like I'm being negative because I love your draft and I want to encourage all of your drafting habits to continue.
More chaos. Encourage.
Yes. Cooper Kupp,
I like chaos.
Going to plug. I am a big Cooper Kupp fan. He's he feels very reliable to me. Very solid pick. And I think that he's going to have a good connection with Matt Stafford, a better one than he ever had with Jared Goff. Chris Godwin to the therapist in almost the 5th round. And then now this is where Joe falls apart.
Pain.
Thanks for not letting me down, Joe. He goes Myles Gaskin and Javonte Williams. Actually, Joe, I'm sorry. I take it back. I love Javonte Williams for the end of the year. If he's healthy in Denver, he will have surpassed Melvin Gordon.
By the end of the year, I'm saying week 6. But I like Joe's team, unfortunately. I like the first 3 picks. I think he has potential, like, almost can lock top 3 at tight end, quarterback, and running back in his first 3 picks. Joe Morley.
Yeah. I think Joe really is drafting. And I was giving him a hard. I wanted to bash him about drafting Gaskin, but in the 4th round, I'm not really sure who he's competing for targets with. Like some, screen runs, weird passes to Jakeem Grant or Salvin Ahmad or whoever else is down there in that backfield. CeeDee Lamb going to the football therapist. He's now drafted 3 wide receivers in a row and 3 guys that I all think have a potential, top 10 potential depending on target distribution in Dallas and
getting CeeDee in the 5th round.
In the Buccaneers. And plug with a great pick right here, getting Mike Davis because I mean, who's the competition for him to get touches down in Atlanta? We saw he can be effective in the pass game last year.
That's what I was going for, Tony. I was going for Mike Davis with my pick there, so I was a little upset when I saw his name pop up on the screen. Back-to-back Carolina Panthers, too. You see DJ Moore go right after him.
Yeah.
Clock management, who's on auto pick.
But I mean, you got Mostert. Are you happy? Like,
I'm okay with it. I like Mike Davis a little bit more because I know that there's going to be a little bit more of a committee in San Francisco. But I think that Mostert can be a guy that's going to be decent for me, especially here in the 5th round. I could put him in as my RB2 and feel pretty safe about it if Saquon is balling. That's what my whole draft is banking on.
Awesome. And then we get Russell Wilson to the Matty Daddy. His team is just looking.
His team
is like a monster right now to me. But since we have Robson on the screen, he finally drafted a guy with a driver's license in Amari Cooper. Way to finally draft somebody over the age of 21. Amari Cooper, how you feel about that?
It's a bit of a risky pick, but in this situation, I actually really needed a wide receiver. I realized panicky that I didn't actually already take one. That's usually unlike me. But I like Amari Cooper. He's incredibly talented when he's on. His production is going to be really dependent on Dak Prescott and how he recovers from the ACL injury. If he recovers well, then Amari Cooper will probably be another 1,000-yard season in terms of receiving because he is the number 1 over there in Dallas. So I like my pick. But I will admit there is a lot that could go wrong in this situation when it comes to Amari Cooper.
Yeah, no, I think you're probably right. And if Dak's back and he's healthy, you want any piece of that offense that you can get, and Amari's a nice piece in that offense. I like. Was there something about Kyler Murray that just popped on the screen in the comments? Because that was the next one I wanted to stop at. Because Kevin with 4 running backs and now Kyler Murray, in the 5th round. I was thinking about it today. Like Kyler really does have an opportunity surrounded by all of that talent to have an MVP season. So, like I was saying before, if you're drafting in the first 5 rounds, you have to draft a quarterback to me that you think could be MVP, like a guy that could throw for 40 plus touchdowns or then run for a bunch of yards. So I like the Kyler Murray pick there.
I was sitting here in pain for my pick, Tony, having Mostert and having to decide between Mostert and Murray because Murray is obviously the choice. But I have no RB2.
Yeah, and
It's
now
getting thin. It's getting thin real quick. So if I'm going to get an RB2, it needed to be right there. See Murray go a couple picks later, and I instantly regret not taking him.
well, I think that you'd made maybe the right decision because I don't want to say who I still okay. One of the guys is gone. That would have been a good substitute. But I did have another another guy.
Like don't.
Yeah, no, I would never start prognosticating on who is still there because this is a live fantasy draft and people may be watching, and I don't want to make anybody go faster. But James Robinson is a guy that I think could be slept on a little bit more, and he's at least a workhorse back as to where we know the 49ers sometimes seem to have injuries and a lot like was James Robinson even in the thought process there for you?
Yeah, he was, but I'm worried about the Etienne thing. I think Etienne's versatility that James Robinson doesn't quite have as much of worries me that Meyer drafted Etienne because he wants to use Etienne as his RB1.
Yeah.
So I'm a little worried. It sucks because I'm a big James Robinson fan. I think he's a great running back.
Yeah, no. Let me catch up to get Robinson's pick here in a second. At the turn, Robert Woods, always reliable. Noah Fant, who I think, depending on quarterback, I like it better with Bridgewater, but could be a sneaky good play at tight end. Kenny Golladay, who knows how that works out. Damian Harris. I want to talk to Seven about that one a little bit. And then Prescott going. And then we got Robson, whose draft is sponsored by Similac with all these babies that he's drafting. Drafts Jamar Chase. Like Kyle Pitts, Justin Herbert, Jamar Chase, all guys that are like, 21-ish, 20, like, what do you
around my age?
I see that you guys all have a lot in common here. Jamar Chase, what do you like about this one?
Well, I like Jamar Chase for 2 reasons primarily. One, he's a dynamic playmaker. He's got elite level speed. He can make big catches. He can make big plays consistently. He proved that at LSU. And also, he's reuniting with Joe Burrow. And I know I'm not a huge fan of the draft pick, him at 5. I think they should have taken Penei Sewell at 5 to protect Joe Burrow because I think Joe Burrow, with the sample size I saw, I was a big criticizer of Joe Burrow being a product of at a perfect situation at LSU and his incredible record-breaking everything season that he had at LSU where he won the Heisman Trophy. I thought it was primarily because of like Joe Brady and all the talent he had around him, but he proved in the NFL that he can do it. He is a very talented football player, and I think you bring a guy that he was dominant with, Jamar Chase, in. I think if he gets the time from the O-line, I think him and Jamar Chase are going to have a great season together. Again, very risky pick, I know, but I think if it works out, it could be a home run.
If ifs were nuts, and well, that's a saying I'm not going to say because we're on air.
Children's show.
Yeah, lots of ifs in that, but I agree with you. For me, no offensive line, T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd. I'm probably staying away from all Bengals receivers till I see how it shakes out. Devonta Smith, who I just absolutely all on board with this team. Robson, you focus in. You got 45 seconds left. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just pissed off that fantasy football therapist took Michael Carter. God damn it.
I gotta get all your Jets players so that way
Mike
you
on the mic
That was the only one I wanted to draft.
crushes the dream of Bolster to get the goat, baby, right here. Mike, you got him.
That's the only reason I got him too, because Lamar Jackson was there too.
Yes, because I was just about to bring that up to you.
Yeah.
You went Brady as a troll move. Like in real fantasy, would you take Brady? Like if you were drafting today and you think Tom Brady could potentially have a better year fantasy wise than Lamar Jackson, or was this strictly just to mess?
I don't think they're going to be too far off of each other. Personally, I'll probably take Lamar Jackson. I took him in the last draft, especially in this situation where I don't have a ton of depth. Like I feel like I have a really good starting lineup, but I don't have a ton of depth. So Lamar Jackson can kind of duel as my running back, also in my quarterback slot. So I definitely probably would have thought about it, but I don't want Bolster to get Brady. So I'm just going to play defense here.
For me, the Lamar Jackson thing that worries me is like, what if they really are serious about like opening up the passing game and they start really taking away some of the potential that he's given everybody with his legs, and the passing game takes a while to develop, and then all of a sudden you're not even in the playoff race by the time they realize like, hey, we have this guy with amazing ability. T. Higgins goes, 5 picks after Jamar Chase to the fantasy football therapist. I'm sure he will explain to us why he is a genius for doing that. Juju Smith-Schuster going to Joe Morley, and then Jerry Jeudy, back-to-back solid selections at wide receiver, because those are his first 2 in this draft. So Juju is his number 1.
I mean, to have strength somewhere, you're going to have a weakness somewhere else. He's strong at running back, going to be weak at receiver, it looks like. I like his team overall. As long as he keeps drafting receivers now and gets a bunch of them that have potential to break out. I don't think Juju has too much potential to do much more than what we see him doing, but he puts up wide receiver 2 numbers.
Yeah, and I think those are where your best lottery tickets are going to come in handy as far as drafting there. Michael Carter goes to the therapist, and we all heard Robson's reaction to that. Dallas Goedert.
Jay's saying that then Lamar will get the points in passing, which is true. I think the worry is if you're comparing his passing to Tom Brady's passing, you're probably going to take Tom Brady. But I see what you're saying.
Oh, yeah. Trust me, remember how upset I was when I didn't take Lamar Jackson, and then he went in the 5th, and now we're in the 6th, almost the 7th round, and Lamar Jackson fell. So, like, you can just see from draft to draft. I mean, this is only a week difference, and now Jackson has already fallen like 20 with this collection of drafters. Melvin Gordon finally goes on auto draft. That's got to give you a little smile there, Mike. You then take Brandon Ayuk, who I really like, as an option for a wide receiver 3. Like if he steps into the wide receiver 1 shoes, you could be seeing a lot of benefit from that pick.
Yeah, I'm trying to set my lineup also up to where I can make some trades. So I may be thinking about packaging Ayuk with one of my later picks to try and get another running back, because I don't like really relying on Mostert to be my RB2 for an entire football season.
Mike's team, the San Francisco Treat, George Kittle, Raheem Mostert, and Brandon Ayuk, all from the same roster. Tough bye week for him coming up. Ronald Jones goes, who I think,
Bolster's takes. He roasts 2 people in one comment.
DJ Chark over here to Robson. Robson, I'm a fan of this. I'm a fan of all the garbage time down in Jacksonville. You excited about that one?
Pretty much that was my thought process too. I think people overreacting to the Urban Meyer comments. That's just how he coaches. As a Gator fan, I know that very, very well. Urban Meyer, who broke my heart when he decided to bounce out of town. This is how he coaches. He likes to push his players. He likes to make them better, and that's what he's doing with DJ Chark. And if you listen to how DJ Chark responded, he's taking it well. He likes a coach that will push him to be better, and I think it's going to make him better. I think that's going to be a great duo for the foreseeable future, Trevor Lawrence and DJ Chark. I think, and again, like you mentioned, Tony, garbage time scores are going to be at a premium over there in Duval, so I think that's going to be a great combo.
Yep, back it up. Beep, beep. The garbage truck is coming in for all Jacksonville games this season. We got OBJ going in this late. This one to me feels like a great lottery ticket that I would have seen Joe like to take a shot at. When you don't have any receivers until the 7th round, OBJ's upside, and maybe he's traded. Who knows? We'll get closer to the season and get into that. Deontay Johnson going to Piggy. Pittsburgh receivers always scare me. What is this? Never draft for bye weeks. Rather lose 1 week and win the rest than pass on players with the same bye. Football therapist. Yep. And I appreciate that. That is why I have like 2 fantasy championships to my name, and my ratio is about 2 to 89. Not a ton of success is what I'm getting at.
Man, see Bolster sharing his concerns with the Sutton picks.
ACL, yeah, okay.
Sorry, he's just worried about the ACL injury and having Drew Lock as quarterback. If Aaron Rodgers heads up to Denver, like the rumors have been saying, I also kind of like Judy's stock a little bit more than Sutton, because Judy's that route runner kind of guy that Aaron Rodgers likes to get the ball to.
Yeah, he's much more Devontae Adams, or even like the Greg Jennings that he really succeeded with there. And really Donald Driver. People forget Donald Driver was a pretty good player. Where am I at here on my board? Piggy's getting Chase Edmonds. Kenyon Drake is going to Bolster. So there's still running backs here that seem to have name value. It's just I don't know how much these guys are really touching the ball. This, what happens to what's the guy's name? The Kendall who coaches the Arizona Cardinals. What's his name?
Kingsbury.
Yes.
Kingsbury.
Clifford Ken Kingsbury. He seems to be a little wavery on who the running back is. And Kenyon Drake, could be a nice late 7th, almost 8th round pick by Bolster. James Conner in Arizona.
I regret my Brady pick because the Aaron Rodgers is still sitting right here. I know it's concerned, but I would have taken it for 2 more rounds.
So that was when people were mad that they missed out on that. It was that was who I was gonna say. I was gonna be like, oh, the MVP's still on the board, but I was like, I don't want to say it out loud because that sucks. But I was like, we do realize that the guy who just threw for like 50 touchdowns is still available.
Clock gets him right after me.
Joe Burrow. Is there any way we can send a link to get this host Ben in? Because I would like to ask some questions. I'm curious.
Oh, yeah, I can send it to him.
Okay, just
I
curious.
might have already sent it to him.
Maybe just having fun. Where'd I go? Robbie Anderson taking Carolina, probably so he can see him in person. Sutton, Gesicki, I like the tight end. Piggy getting one of his Dolphins. Fantasy Alert taking Jalen Waddle. That one is a touch on the concerning side because I have my worries about Tua. Robson takes Chase Claypool. Talk about the Notre Dame standout.
I like Chase Claypool. Again, I'm kind of a risky pick because I do not know what exactly Ben Roethlisberger is going to look like, but he was solid. And so was Chase Claypool. Chase Claypool was a very good wide receiver last year. And I think he's probably still going to see more snaps. I think he's going to see more snaps, more targets than he got in his first year, which even when he had targets, he did great stuff with them. So I like the Chase Claypool pick. Again, my draft is not going quite according to plan. I think I've kind of effed it up a little bit, but I still like my team in general. I still like the Chase Claypool pick.
No, it's a fun team. It's a good team to get behind. Like all the guys that you've drafted, I want to cheer for on Sunday.
Yeah.
So putting positive spin. That's what we do here.
I'm not sure what Chubb's age is. I know it's not up there, but I don't think anyone else. Dobbins is under 23. Pitts is under 23. Herbert, I think, is 23 or he's 22. Cooper obviously is over, but Chase, Chark, and Claypool. I think your average age is going to be right around like 21, 22 for this squad, Robson. You're going with youth for sure.
Again, it's not a keeper league.
And Cooper's actually very young too.
I'm golden.
He is, yeah.
People forget he came in at like 19 years old
Yeah.
or whatever when he got to the NFL. So I remember he was like 5 years in. They're like, Amari Cooper's only 20, 23. I was like, what? He's had like 6 surgeries. Zach Ertz, I like this pick, especially if he's rumored to some of these other places that he's rumored to end up. I think Zach Ertz on real draft day is probably going to have a lot more value and go a lot higher. Aaron Rodgers right here. I don't understand how he was still available behind, Joe Burrow on a team that already had Josh Allen. Am I reading that correctly, or did I go the wrong way on the snake draft? Lamar Jackson. Tom, I don't need to get into it. You guys can see the board. Trey Sermon, who I like to plug right there because it just always feels like whenever you watch the 49ers, at some point, we're going to be like, Wayne Gallman is this week's, sleeper, fill-in, bye week, whatever. Trey Sermon will definitely be on that list. A.J. Dillon, always a good backup to have because, he's probably going to get some work at the goal line too. And Joe, doing the right thing, picking wide receivers. Brandon Cooks right here in the 9th round. There's no competition for targets. Jarvis Landry always gets a ton of targets from whoever his quarterback is. Hurts so good. Fantasy, therapist, we got to talk about this. Taking Jalen Hurts right there. I like that a lot. Debo, Gronk, and now we're back to Mike. Getting Zach Moss.
Yeah, that's what I was going to take in the previous round, but I decided I'm just going to go ahead and take Ertz. He's going to be trade bait later on in the season when he's a Los Angeles Charger. I say everyone's going to be a Charger until someone hits.
Pretty much.
I'm so glad you called that because I was just about to be like, is there a big name free agent that isn't rumored to be wearing the powdered blue?
You see my profile picture? I'm pointing up.
Yeah.
Top there is Hunter Henry, so it's a little bit of signs, like I'm going to take Zach Ertz, his replacement. Trying to speak into existence.
I love it. Hollywood Brown going to the Matty Daddy who has left us. He's now on auto draft. Laviska Shenault.
Not who I wanted to pick. It went on auto draft. I took too long.
Oh, were you engaged in conversation?
Yeah, and I was going to take the guy that went after him, Corey Davis.
Awkward.
Well,
you're not getting any Jets. You're not getting any.
Apparently not. Not going to happen this year, guys. Then again, it usually never works out for me because last year I picked Denzel Mims and he played like 3 games.
I thought you were going to say it never works out for you because when you take Jets players, you lose in fantasy football. That's what I thought you were about to say.
I won the year. I won the year. I actually won the year of fantasy. My first ever time playing. I won it with Josh McCown as my quarterback. The year he had a decent year with the Jets.
I'm gonna need to see.
I'm gonna need to
see that. Yeah, I'm gonna because
it's when a certain Todd Gurley had an MVP type year.
Okay. All right. I'll buy that. I'll buy that. But I do like Corey, and if you were really taking Corey Davis right there, like I think as your 4th wide receiver, like that would have been a really great opportunity. Tyler Boyd now going to Piggy in the 9th round. That's the end of the Cincinnati selection. I really like this Matthew Stafford to 7's team. I think there's a lot of value in the 9th round for Matt Stafford and, maybe Sean McVay saying he wants
Mike, your goat just got taken.
Yeah, my
goat just got picked.
My goat got taken.
Robert Tonyan.
Robert Tonyan. Will Fuller, if he can stay healthy and stay off the juice, he could be a player. Everybody's always said that. Logan Thomas, Michael Pittman, who I really like. If they don't add another wide receiver, which it doesn't look like the Colts are going to.
I don't know where they're going to get one from.
Yeah. Pittman's not going to have a ton there. Has Todd Gurley signed anywhere? I know we went to look in Detroit, but I didn't see any news.
No official sign for Todd Gurley. He's also visiting the Chargers, I heard. So come
Jesus
on over.
Christ.
Just load him up.
That's a fun jersey to have, but I don't think that ends super well.
He'd be our RB2, obviously, because we got good old Eckler.
Yeah, I'm a big Todd Gurley fan. Football, I don't know how much there's left in the body there.
Oh, I'm on the clock. Why didn't you guys say anything?
Oh shit! Sorry, brother.
Oh no!
Trying to catch up.
Robson, I'm more mad at you because you pick a couple picks before me. You know what's happening. You're in the loop.
Hell, I don't know what's happened. I got LaVisca Chenault on my team. I don't know what the hell's happening.
Is there are they talking about Gainwell starting in Philadelphia possibly, or is he going to be buried by Miles Sanders?
Well, you just ran out of time.
Well, you ran out of time, and you got Justin Fields.
Whatever. But anyway,
yeah.
And Trevor Lawrence goes right after.
Wait,
I've heard a lot of good things about Gainwell being like the solid number 2 option with Miles Sanders.
I have been seeing Gainwell go higher in drafts than I had thought. And I remember in the first mock draft, I had to go look him up after that because I didn't know anything about him. But I'm seeing people that I think are smart fantasy resources take him,
That's what I was about to take until I ran out of time. Just couldn't make the decision in time because Robson didn't tell me it was my turn to pick.
Yeah. Taking the 0 RB approach seriously. Yeah, I think he's I think he is.
Joe Morley's team. His draft board is wild. He went RB, tight end, quarterback, RB, 4 receivers, RB, and now a receiver.
And now he takes Mike Williams. But he really has this is the thing I hate about Joe's team is I don't know which of those receivers. Like every week, I'm like, who am I starting at wide receiver? I like to have at least one wide receiver that I'm like, no matter what, this guy starts every week. And I don't
go on the clock, Mike.
Thanks, Robson. I was waiting for you to say something.
You're welcome, homie.
Because that's what friends are for.
Gainwell's still there.
Sorry, guys, I can't hit those notes I used to. I was younger.
Gainwell's still there.
70s were very rough on me. Rondell Moore, Alexander Madison. I like that move by Plug. This is what you do. You get your handcuffs, people. You draft. And especially, I think Mike Boone is now somewhere else. He's in Denver, wherever. So Madison's clearly going to be the handcuff there. I say clearly like I talk to these guys like, yeah, me and Zimmer, we're on a private chat. And he's like, he's the handcuff. I don't know. Ingram, Gainwell. You got Gainwell and you got Justin Fields. So you still got your guy.
I don't like my team, Tony.
It's okay. I had one last week. It's hard to draft and be on camera, especially for me, for many reasons. I have reading disabilities, attention deficit problems. Devin Singletary, he was like 2nd round last year.
Now here he is in the 3rd to last.
now he's going.
Zach Moss was going before him. Zach Moss went before him.
Yeah, and I think that's actually the right move too. Like I would definitely be drafting Moss ahead of Singletary. Tony Pollard, we have a fantasy alert. Drafting his handcuff.
It's Tannehill. I would have been okay with Tannehill here instead of Brady 5 rounds ago.
Right, come on, Bolster. I know you want to, Bolster. Just pick Sam Darnold. Drop your quote in the comments about that California bum being the future GOAT. I know you want to. Just do it.
I honestly believe that Bolster was going to take Tannehill there. Like he's all jacked about Tennessee, and I think Tannehill could actually have a really good fantasy season. Like he could be a really good quarterback with AJ Brown healthy and Julio healthy and Derrick Henry. I mean, I don't know. I think they have Fursker at tight end. He had a couple of moments last year where he was serviceable or okay. So he's got a chance to be a sneaky play for 7. The one thing I want to talk about was Piggy taking Antonio Brown right here. I love this flyer because all the guy does, all he needs is reps. He might not be Antonio Brown from so long ago, but if you're getting him in the 11th round, he could be a solid RB2 if Godwin's nicked up or, Evans is nicked up.
Okay, we got Ben from the shot callers in the waiting room. You want to talk to him, Tony? Bring him in.
I do.
All right, cool. Here we go. I hope he's ready. He's looking at the camera, so I think he's ready.
What's up, boys?
What's up? Welcome to the Warzone stream.
You know it. I'm glad to be here, gentlemen. Thanks for the invite. I do appreciate it in the highest respects. I'm out here at Morongo. If you guys are, and any of you guys are familiar with Southern California,
a little bit,
little casino action, by the pool, some mock draft. Like, look, I mean, you couldn't ask for anything else.
Life does not get better than that, my friend. And I am from. I've lost a lot of change at Morongo.
I'm getting ready to.
Yes. Okay. I just wanted to talk to you about the draft strategy that you had. Like,
okay,
what was the running back plan? Did it fall apart, or were you just like, I'm just going to take flyers towards the end?
So, I was being a Jets fan, I was looking at Michael Carter, and obviously he got picked like 2 picks before me. And, with Justin Fields being at the helm in Chicago, because I doubt Andy Dalton will last more than 3 starts, right? So with Justin Fields at the helm, it'll open up a huge, like, they'll have to play a certain amount of coverage for the wide receivers and being able to, have option plays with Justin Fields like how he played in college. And so having David Montgomery, especially at the great ending to last year that he had, I just think he carries it on to next year. And, it did fall a little by the wayside for running backs, but I mean, one of my tricks for, on my show, we call them soldiers of fortune because we are the shot callers. And so for anyone out there, like, looking here for advice, the biggest thing for me is picking a double threat. Being for this team, it's Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. You get double points for touchdowns and yards and all that good stuff. So that's what I was really eyeing. And then let's see, Robert Woods is just he's my dude. I pick him every time if he's available in a reasonable amount in the draft, and he always does me solid. And with Matthew Stafford there, I mean, Cooper Kupp really he creates his own yards, right? So his yard after catch average is huge, while Robert Woods is the real downfield threat. And with having I would say he's closer to Marvin Jones Jr. than Cooper Kupp is when Marvin Jones Jr. is actually doing something, right? And so that's kind of where I went with that. And then Noah Fant is very risky, and also James Conner. I really didn't want to grab James Conner because he's so injury prone and he's on a new team in Arizona. But Arizona obviously doesn't trust Chase Edmonds that much, which I'm pretty upset about because I'm a huge Chase Edmonds fan. And so, there's a little upside to there. And I mean, I do agree. It fell a little bit by the wayside for running backs for me, but I mean, all in all, at least, I mean, I don't know. I think his name is Piggy Bank. I don't know if that's any of you guys, but 4 running backs in a row.
Yes. No, that was definitely a bold strategy, Cotton. I do think that you have really nice wide receivers, right? Especially with Michael Pittman, a guy that I like for not a lot of competition. And I think that he is kind of a stud. He came back from that injury very strong. And I think Carson Wentz is just better at this point in his career than Phillip Rivers was in year 17. So I like it. I was just curious as to, like, maybe you were one of those drafters that's like, I'll get a guy that I think could be a solid RB1 in David Montgomery, and then just worry about filling in running back throughout the season or not. Because
yeah, and a huge thing for me is like waiver wire pickups. So always jotting down, like, especially week to week, where you are on the waiver wire, and because running backs get hurt so easily because they touch the ball so much, right? And so if one gets hurt, there's going to be an all right backup behind them, especially if it's a potent offense. So that's a little take for me, especially not being in the top 5 of the draft. I feel like wide receiver heavy goes towards the end of the draft, and it kind of all relies on injuries.
Okay, I'm good. That was a
What was
satisfying
your
answer.
answer? Yeah.
A lot of times I ask people questions and then they hit me with, "Well, I don't know," and it drives me insane. But he had great
Well, I'm glad I could quench
answers.
your thirst.
Yeah. I would have been super disappointed if you were to just been like, "Well, I just felt like this guy." And I was like, "Well, what was the reasoning?" But you came with tons of heat on all of it, and I appreciate that, Ben.
Anytime. I'm about to be up and I'm on my phone, so I'm gonna
right.
hit that draft. Thank you guys so much as always, and for all of you listeners out there, fantasy shot callers. Sorry guys, I just have to shout out my stuff
Yeah, of course.
one last time. Thanks so much again. All right, I'll see y'all later.
See you, man. Thank you.
That was
Damn.
Ben from the Fantasy Shot Callers, and I really appreciate that. I like it when you ask somebody what was going on, and it wasn't just like, I don't know. I didn't have a plan or whatever. Like give some reason, especially if you're somebody who gives fantasy football advice. And this guy's a shot caller. I want to do the little Troy.
Caller. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if that resonates with the younger crowd.
I like it. I like it.
All right, I'll hit a little.
Robson's team. Most of Robson's team wouldn't have gotten it, but I got it, Tony.
Yeah. Most of Robson's team was like, that's the song that they were listening to when their parents got pregnant. Was like, that's how old that song is. It's like 21, 25 years old. It's terrible.
Robson, you want to switch teams, man?
No. I like my team.
Robson's team is fun and exciting. That's the great thing about youth, right? Like, I always say that I'm so
the opposite of me.
What do you mean?
The opposite of me. I have been told many times that I'm like a 40-year-old man instead of a 20-year-old's body in terms of what I want to do. I just want to relax and do nothing. As a 20-year-old, that sounds crazy, I know, but that's how I am.
Well, okay, I don't want to travel down this road with you.
Smart man, Tony.
I feel like I'm going to say something stupid. And then Sterling Shepard, he finishes up strong with a couple wide receivers, just adding depth there in case he does need to trade away and get a running back. So fantasy shot callers, not wraps it up with as far as the draft goes. If there are a few people that are coming in to discuss draft boards, I'm not sure who is and who is not coming in, but Bolster finished up by getting Kirk Cousins.
And Matt Ryan.
Kirk Cousins. Okay, Bolster.
Okay, Bolster.
What? Baker Mayfield still out there. What are you doing?
Oh, come on now.
Not. I'm sorry. You're right. Baker went to Plug's team. Somebody with some sense. And then Joe does his guy a favor. This is like Joe drafting Derek Carr after he already has Patrick Mahomes. It's like, that's like somebody doing you a favor right there.
Sacrilege.
Could you just make sure you pick my kid so he's not last? Like that's not good, Joe. But the rest of the team, very strong. Fantasy football therapist gets Tyler Higbee and Tevin Coleman, who went, 12 rounds later after I threatened Robson. So at least he was drafted.
No big deal.
Amon St. Brown to Plug. Yes. Do as that. Please do. Please.
I didn't know it was going to be that big and bulky. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
Say to my face, Tony Tucker.
Whatever you want, Joe. you can get all this smoke, brother.
I'm glad you're here, Joe. I like your team a lot, dude.
I went in a different direction. I told you guys I was going to throw it off with Derrick Henry. I wanted to see what a draft would be like if Derrick Henry went first, because that's what we're doing this for, right? To train this up, let people see some different things. You guys know that I love Nick Chubb, though, right?
Yeah.
Chubb.
Then I thought Jay, in the second round, I thought Jay was going to go Waller because Jay is best friends with Waller, right? He's always throwing it out there. Me and Waller. He did Waller dirty, and I was like, I'm not going to let Waller go into the next round, right? Jay, the Plug, did Waller dirty to almost let him fall to the third round. So I go, you know what? I'll take it right there. I'll take the two guys from the AFC West. I'm kind of iffy about my running back situation, but I think I'm pretty strong at wide receiver. I like that. Pretty strong at quarterback. I mean, I can win I can win this right here. Put it on the board, Mike.
Put
Championship.
it on the board. My team is awful, so I'm rooting for Joe's team now.
I
Friday
can't
Night
see you.
Wars
What
game.
is your team, Mike? Where's your team? What'd you draft?
Garbage. I'm the Hunter Henry picture.
Oh, you drafted Barkley, AJ Brown, Kittle.
It started good. It fell apart after that. That's where it ends.
I know Plug is mad at me, but Plug, you did Darren Waller dirty. Put it on there. Send this clip to Waller. Let him know that Plug passed on him in the second round. But Joe picked him up, and I did. I know, Tony. I heard you talking about Derek Carr. I heard you down there. I heard you earlier when I was hopping on. You said I threw him a bone. Throw him fantasy alert. What's going on, man? He was in the draft, right? Fantasy alert.
Yeah, I feel like Fantasy Alert stole a picture from my childhood. Can we put that back up there?
Is that a little baby Tony Tucker?
That's a really. I got some pictures. I was like, wait, was that my afro that just came on there? Somebody trolling me? Mike, wait, what team? I'm sorry.
What's up, Joe? How you doing, brother?
All right. I saw.
Social media and I got distracted.
I'm going through. Let me see. I'm trying to look at Fantasy Alert because he was talking to us right now. So Fantasy Alert. Did you guys already go through his team?
No, we did not.
We did not, but I actually love this team a lot.
Yeah.
3 running backs. So yeah, he took that running back heavy draft approach, right? With Elliott, Mixon, and DeAndre. Go ahead, Mike. Say it.
Swift. No, that is
It's
baby Drake.
Yeah.
That's crazy. You look like Drake, Tony.
Well, that's,
okay.
I do play Norman in another series called Fam Club. People, check it out. It's fantastic. I play his long lost brother in Canada. And Fantasy Alert's team is great on this.
I like Terry McLaurin.
He's got a number. To me, he's got a bona fide number one. I like Terry McLaurin. I think he's a fantastic receiver who kind of gets like under the radar, like underlooked. So I think he's got a bona fide number one. He's got 3 running backs, and then he gets Dak Prescott bouncing back, who I think could have, if he goes back to what he was pre-ankle injury when he's throwing up 500 yards a game, he's got a top 5 fantasy quarterback, and 2 out of 3 of those running backs should hit and pay off in the top 3.
Are you seeing that he also got his handcuff? He got Pollard late in the draft to put with Zeke, with Dak. That's a pretty good draft right there. I like it.
I like that he took Cole Beasley in the last round.
Yeah.
Like that's value right there.
That's what I was the last thing I was going to say about his team is just like you went and drafted a bunch of sort of lottery ticket type wide receivers. Like when I look at your team, Joe, I don't know who your number 1 wide receiver is. That's why I like Fantasy Alert's team a little bit better. But his lottery tickets are OBJ, Corey Davis, who I think could be a number 1 on a team that's going to have a lot of garbage time. They wear the gang green. Fireman Ed is their mascot. Maybe Robson knows who they are. And then you got Bateman and Beasley, 2 guys that could be getting a lot of love in the passing game. So Fantasy Alert, bravo, brother.
Hey, I heard you guys talking about earlier. Sorry, when I was gone. So I'm going to go back to an earlier conversation about Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton, because I think I had both of them on the board if I was correct when I was on the board looking at them.
You did.
And
yeah, Sutton went 2 rounds later after Jeudy.
Yeah. So I was looking at both of them, and I had that issue with Sutton because I drafted Sutton early last year in my own personal league. He got hurt, so I kind of had that in the back of my head. But like Mike was saying earlier, Jeudy is the route runner, and he had some big games last year, and I expect some big things. It don't matter who his quarterback is; they're going to get him the ball.
Well, yeah. There's also like sometimes where did they get Sutton in the draft? I don't know that, but I think they got Jeudy in like the first round. So like you want the guys that you've invested in to do really well and give them all the chances to succeed wherever I mean, look at Corey Davis is now a Jet. Look at how many chances they gave him in Tennessee before it was time to turn the page. Like he's going to get that. He's getting paid a little bit more. Let's get him and see if the first round pedigree that we drafted can turn itself out. But also drafting wide receivers off a knee like after knee injuries, I tend to never do that unless I can get them way late.
Sutton was a second-round pick.
Yeah, I like Sutton last year's fantasy draft before the injury because he had a big year the year before. I think he went for 1,200 and almost 10 touchdowns the year before. I'm not sure 100%, but I like Judy to kind of start to eat away at his stuff, which sucks for Sutton because I like him as a player. I just think that Judy is a more groomed, well put together receiver, in my opinion. He's got a little bit more to his game. Judy just had some drop issues last year. And I boil it down to just being a rookie because it seemed like he only dropped the ball in big moments.
Yeah. Anything to add to that, Robson?
Nothing.
I agree with most of it. Like, I would drop something if I think y'all are talking nonsense, but I agree with most everything that's said.
Zach Wilson's a bust.
And I
Hold
heard
up now.
I heard that the GOAT was drafted, but I'm trying to look. Where did Sam Darnold go?
Brian Bolster, where the hell are you? Why did you not take Sam Darnold? You talk all that crap about Sam Darnold, calling him the future GOAT, and here you are not even drafting him. What the hell's up with you, boy? Come on, man.
All right, we're going to take a poll. Tony, Henry or Cook?
Are we talking about running back or
running back?
are we talking about tight ends?
Derrick Henry? Oh, that's true, huh? All right, Robson, Henry or Cook?
Derrick Henry.
Joe?
Derrick Henry.
I'm also taking Derrick Henry.
The injuries with Cook is what bothers me. Cook, I love watching Cook, but I never want to be that guy who has Cook and he goes down again.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, injuries obviously can just happen to any one of these guys, right? So, like, I don't like to do it on that. My real thing is, like, at some point, I have to look at who's getting the best opportunities in consistently getting him in the red zone, and that's got to be the Tennessee Titans. Like, they are going to be able to move the football with a healthy Julio Jones and A.J. Brown. I really think the offense is going to be great. I was giving Bolster a hard time earlier about how they're not even like the fifth best offense in the AFC. But I don't really believe that. I only say that to him to his face just because it's funny to see his reaction.
There's nothing funnier than a fired up, bolstered up sports. I'll tell you that. Especially after I will still, to this day, say I called that terrible Travis Etienne pick, and then Brian Bolster went on one of my favorite rants of all time in my entire 20 years of life. It was the greatest thing ever. Oh, my God in heaven.
All right, I changed my pick to Cook because Piggy knows more than me. So,
well, I think that there's the receiving value for sure that's there, but I mean, we always do this thing where it's like that Derrick Henry catches no footballs, right? He does catch the ball. He just doesn't catch it at the same rate that Delvin Cook does. And I just think there's going to be so many more yards to eat with the respect that Julio Jones commands. So I would have, I mean, and we're flipping a coin. Either guy I'm excited to have.
Yeah, and it's a risk reward game, right? You got a lot less injury risk with Derrick Henry, but you also risk that Cook's gonna go off in the pass game. So you got to kind of pick your spot. Getting Cook at 3 or 4, I think, is a good spot for him. Getting Henry at 3 or 4 is a good spot, regardless.
Joe Morley, I know you are not a fan of the Julio to Tennessee, all this hype about it. I know you're just ready to tell us all why.
Well, I don't know. You can go check it out on one of the shorts that I go off on it. Look, he's 32 years old. He played 9 games last year. Is he a good talent? Yes. Is he going to help the Tennessee Titans? No. Who's going to stop all the other teams? That defense is horrible, right? That defense is horrible. Tannehill, are we even sold on Tannehill? We're supposed to be sold on Tannehill. We're supposed to be like, Tannehill is the next up-and-coming guy. Come on. But you know what? Part of me, this is the only part of me that I want. This is the only thing I want to see good of it. If the Tennessee Titans can somehow win the Super Bowl, I want to see Tannehill win a Super Bowl while Tua struggles and goes out. And then Dolphin fans, what are you going to say now? Because if Tua becomes a bust and Tannehill goes on and wins the Super Bowl, that's all I got to say about that.
You know what they'll do? They'll manifest their inner Brian Bolster and blame everything on Adam Gase.
You're just throwing the stabs at everyone. Throwing the stabs at the Titans fans, the Julio fans, and the Dolphins fans.
That's another thing. Do you guys know who the Tennessee Titans offensive coordinator is?
No clue, actually.
Todd Downings. Todd Downings is his offensive
Who the hell is
coordinator.
that? Who the hell is
Todd
that?
Downings was a tight end coach last year for the Titans. I think he was the tight end coach the year before for the Bears. The year before that, he was the offensive coordinator for the Oakland Raiders. He was the youngest offensive coordinator, the brightest mind, the next up-and-coming guy in the league. Supposedly going to take – he took over for the dude that Derek Carr loved. I can't think of his name.
Not working here anymore for that guy? For not going to be around the organization? For a very
Yeah,
long
it doesn't
time?
matter. Either way,
Fire guy.
Todd Downing was crowned the man, and his offense sucked. And now you're gonna. I put it. You can go check my Twitter account. I put it out there today. Todd Downing is. I've just found out that Todd Downing is the offensive coordinator of the Tennessee Titans. I go. You guys couldn't get anybody better. What is Adam Gase doing right now? Maybe give him a call. Get Adam Gase in Tennessee because he'll be a better offensive coordinator than Todd Downing.
Well, I have a question, Joe. Follow-up question to that statement and take. Did Todd Downey have Derrick Henry on the Raiders when he was there?
Look,
Did he have Julio Jones when he was their OC? And as well as A.J. Brown when he was their OC?
so you're gonna say that Todd Downing is gonna be the next Adam Gase? They're gonna make him look good. Then he's gonna move up and through the ranks, do all this crap. No, Todd Downey's crap. He's crap. Look, I'll tell you right now.
I'm pretty
So,
sure you could figure it out with those weapons on offense, Joe. I'm pretty sure you could be a decent offensive coordinator.
Oh, Joe, there's no defense. Bolster made a good point to me. Well, I don't know if it's good, but it's accurate. And he was saying that Arthur Smith was the tight ends coach before this. They promoted. That worked out nicely for him. So, like I said, I don't know if it's a good point, but there's definitely a precedent for that working out for the Titans. I guess you could say working out.
No, it's not going to work out. I'm telling you right now. Okay, your former offensive coordinator sent Julio Jones to your team. Why? Because he goes, it ain't going to matter. It ain't going to matter over there.
Kevin, a.k.a. Piggy Bang Picks, coming in saying to go ahead and go and check out Fantasy Football Boot Camp because they just went over the AFC South offensive coordinator in a recent episode.
Yeah, but I
There
think
you go.
Joe's trying to find history. He's trying to dig into the history of
Right here.
He's
He's
also
also the
the coach.
Raiders.
That was Carr's best year. You see?
I was getting ready to say, wasn't that the MVP year until he broke his thumb?
It was 2017. The Raiders went 6-10.
And then Kevin says to know your history, but he spells no wrong. Oh, he fixed it. Don't worry.
He was Carr's quarterback the year in 2016, his best year. He was the Carr's quarterback coach. But 2017, he took over the offense that scored 23rd in points for, 17th in yards, so 17 total points or total yards, so 17th best offense. But
That's
So
not
Downey-
bad.
If Downey was able to get Derek Carr to an MVP level, imagine what he's going to do with Tannehill when Carr kind of stinky.
And also, 17th is not that bad.
and that's the year that he had Lynch. He had
They're
Marshawn
gonna be
Lynch.
good. Basically, Joe convinced me that they're going to be good. I'm going for all the Titans.
He had Amari Cooper that year. He had some good players on that offense.
You cannot compare Amari Cooper to having Julio Jones and A.J. Brown. That's just not comparable at all.
I'm sure someone like Michael Crabtree.
Amari Cooper is $100 million wide receiver in the NFL, sir.
Yeah, what
Give
about
him,
Michael
give him
Crabtree?
some respect.
Julio's going to be a Hall of Famer when he's done.
What about Crabtree? Crabtree was on that offense, I'm sure. Just guessing.
No, I think he was on that offense.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. We do these things, we say them to make us feel better about all of our stuff. But then people go, we should hire Adam Gase because he had success with fill in the blank, right? Whatever it is. And I get that it's a way different thing drawing correlations between things. But unless you have like a track record of years and years and years of success, it's really tough to map out how that stuff works. So we can feel better about it, but there's no lock. There's no lock that he can work the same kind of magic with Ryan Tannehill that
Yeah,
he
it's
did
true.
for 13 games.
We've seen teams have the number one offense and the number one defense in the same year and still not even make the playoffs.
I don't even know why he's bringing that up. That has nothing to do with any of this.
That's completely irrelevant in this conversation.
You just know it's the Chargers. That's why. It was a couple years ago too. I think that was also like 2015 or 2016.
Yeah,
We've also seen a team have the worst offense and worst defense and still find a way to win 2 games and lose out on Trevor Lawrence.
Who was that?
You know what?
I wonder.
Losing out on Trevor Lawrence, you should thank your lucky stars, sir.
Oh
boy, here we go.
Not to go off. This is a mock draft where I don't even know why I hopped on here. I was doing good without it.
Who has the best team? Is Piggy seen the best with the running backs?
Aaron Jones, Najee Harris, Chris Carson, Kareem Hunt. No.
Bolster's team solid.
Are you guys not worried about Kyle Murray next year? Like, I had Kyle Murray on my fantasy team, and he died. Like, he started off hot and then went downhill quick.
Yeah, no, I worry about size on all quarterbacks who run, but especially those that are miniature or smaller or whatever it is. You know, like a lot of people are drawing comparisons to Russell Wilson and Kyler, but Russell's one of the best avoid big hit quarterbacks I've ever seen. Like a lot of his hits come in the pocket. He gets sacked a lot from running around, but it's not the same collisions that I see Kyler or that I saw RG3 take or whatever. That scares me a little bit. But Kyler should be great. The team I really like is I like the Fantasy Alert team, and I also like Matty Daddy's team, except for the running back is a little light for me, a lot light. He's got 1 and then 2 sort of more flyers.
Plug's team really scares me if I'm playing against them.
I was about to say Fantasy Alert and Plug's team, I think, are the 2 strongest right out the gate.
If he's got Dalvin Cook healthy and Lamar Jackson, that is like 100 points on a good day right there.
Yeah, and his RB2 and his flex are going to be Gibson and Davis, however you want to switch them up.
I think Mike Davis is going to have a hell of a year.
He's going to be good, yeah.
Oh, Mike Davis.
A little light at receiver, but he has enough at receiver to balance his strength at running back.
You guys are right.
DK is a definite big play guy. Cooper Kupp has his moments. Debo, I'm not a huge fan of. Curtis Samuel's going to be a star, and St. Brown, rookie, so I really don't know what he's going to do. But, yeah, really good team, Plug.
Okay, you're right. Plug, that is the best roster now that I'm looking at it. Because
overall, I think, yeah.
I know I'm not patronizing. I have no problem. I mean, last week when we were on here, or the first week, they're like, Jay's like, say something nice about my team, and I was just like, but this team is
poop.
Are you guys worried about Lamar Jackson?
No,
not at all.
You think he's gonna? There's gonna be a time. Okay, I'm not a big Lamar Jackson guy, right? I thought he did good. I think he's gone down every year. In my opinion, he's gone down. There's going to be a time where he's going to go down even worse because teams are finding out who he is. They're going to stop him, and this might be the year.
So going down means having a bad rookie year, then winning MVP, and then being slightly worse the year after.
You know MVP don't mean crap, right? MVP doesn't mean crap. That's an award the media gives whoever they hype up. A lot of people win MVP and they're not supposed to win it. Tom Brady should have won more MVPs than he has right now.
Yeah, and he won
whoever they hype up.
He won
like Justin. You could give Justin Herbert the MVP because they're going to hype him up all year right now.
Oh,
with my team, I'd be happy with that, and he could probably win MVP just by playing that awful Raiders defense.
Okay, now we're just getting
love it, Jeff.
Don't bother me. Raiders got that win over that Jets.
By one lucky play to Henry Ruggs. What happened the year before and the year before that?
Oh my! This is like.
This is what happens when me and Joe talk. We're just both so passionate.
This is like watching fifth graders fight. Like nobody wants nothing fun about hearing the Raiders and Jets talk trash to each other.
Hey, so, didn't somebody ask us yesterday on the live? Do any of you guys root for any teams that are good? That's what they asked us. Like,
no, not at all.
Like, not at all. I don't think anybody on this network has a good team.
I had the Gators. They're good, I guess. I mean, they're up and
Definitely.
down, but
Definitely no front runners. Like
Tony
we don't have.
is a Browns fan.
Yeah, I'm newly acquired to the Cleveland Browns.
one good year, and y'all don't know what the hell to do with yourselves.
Hey! I've only been here for a year, so I'm living the high life, my friend.
I'm
the Lakers-
primarily thinking of Fanalize, who's a friend of ours that hasn't somehow yet to be on the Warzone Sports Network. It's a little shocking, but yeah, I definitely think Fanalize and other Browns fans go crazy after one decent year.
Well, yeah, Peyton Doyle, also another big Browns. There's a community of us. We're forming. I am a senior. I'm a senior member. As I share a lot of stories around campfires about Bernie Kosar and Marty Schottenheimer, Ernest Biner. Well, yeah, I take them back to the old days. There was something I was gonna say about MVP. Oh yeah, MVP applying to fantasy there's a perfect correlation between the two, Joe. Like if Lamar Jackson, a lot of people won their fantasy years the year that he was. So you're trying to pick who the MVP is in your fantasy draft. That's exactly what you want to do.
Yeah, and the year that he won MVP was the year they let him throw a couple more times. So it's gonna be this year. We'll see how he does.
Big fan of Lamar Jackson. Can we wrap this thing up? Is there anything we got to plug? What do we got coming on?
Kevin's show is gonna get canceled because he wants to say stuff like this. But
Beat all your teams.
and he put the little bow town.
Tomorrow night is what we have going on. Into the crosshairs.
Oh yeah.
Nick Mack, he's already mad. He's already been making a lot of shorts about it. If you guys haven't seen those shorts, check the shorts out. Those come out very often.
He was losing his mind on that live stream.
Wednesday night, Sports Force, of course. Thursday, guys, is the brand new debut of what is it called, Mike? Inside the Cage,
right?
Into the Cage.
Inside the Cage.
Inside the Cage, UFC fights with our boy Talks Smack with Mac. He's coming on Friday Night Wars, of course, and Saturday another episode of Fantasy Boot Camp, which you should start watching, Alex Robinson, so you can have some better drafts.
I need to get in on that too because I had a terrible draft myself.
I
can name at least one person that should join me.
All right, that's going to wrap it up. Robson, we got a 1-year anniversary coming up for you on the podcast. Congratulations, my brother.
Thank you, sir.
We'll talk about that off the air another time. And all the wonderful things that are going on here. Let's get out of here. I am absolutely gassed out. Appreciate everybody who stopped by, commented, all the fantastic stuff that just happened in the last hour and 23 minutes and 11 seconds. Until Wednesday, tomorrow, whenever you come back, we appreciate you. Peace.